So, I often find myself wanting to play board games and unable to do so, like pretty much every day. I'm not much for playing games solo either. It's fine when I'm trying to learn a game so I can teach it to my friends, but on the few occasions I've tried to have fun that way, I just wind up feeling lonelier than before, or managing the bot or dummy player is a pain. It all ends up more trouble than it's worth. But that's okay. There's a delectable selection of popular board games on Steam. Yep, you can play some of the all-time greats on your PC. And while a bunch let you play online with friends or strangers, all that I've played includes single-player. Hell, Splendor even includes something of a puzzle mode that forces you to rethink the way you play the game. It's brilliant! Lords of Waterdeep is probably my favorite. The bots play intelligently without being perfect. I'm not sure, but I think Jura Skullhammond is modeled after my buddy CJ. They both love attacking me without provocation. Ticket to Ride is fun, but tough. I don't think I've ever beaten the standard bots. They always seem to come back from behind with end-of-game bonus points. Talisman is okay, if occasionally frustrating. I've never actually played the actual board game version, but there seems to be a lot of luck involved, and I never do well with Lady Luck. Or any lady, for that matter. Legendary DXP is okay. It plays well enough, but it's all about those microtransactions, and without the excellent Marvel theme from the original game, I can't say I'm all that interested. Sentinels of the Multiverse is pretty good. In fact, I'd say this is a better game when playing as a single player, controlling all the heroes, than when playing the original game co-op with friends. Elder Sign Omens can be pretty fun as long as the dice cooperate. There's nothing more frustrating than needing just 2 damn scrolls and having 3 characters in a row fail to get them even when using bonus dice. Are you freaking kidding me? Ascension is pretty sweet. Although the art looks nothing like what I'm used to, I have to assume that it's 1st edition art, where the version I have, Chronicle of the Godslayer, is 3rd edition. The game plays fast though, and the bots put up a good challenge. On Steam and GOG, seriously GOG, you're lacking in the board game department, you can play the Witcher adventure game, and holy free-holies, this is probably the most polished game of them all. It's fun, and it mimics the board game perfectly, but if you want to win, play as Triss. Seriously, I think she might be overpowered when it comes to winning. You can even play Chainsaw Warrior on Steam, if you hate yourself. Seriously, this game is frustration central, and I will never, ever finish this game. There are also a couple of platforms for playing board games online on Steam, like Tabletop Simulator. You can buy DLC that lets you play games like Scythe or Viticulture or the Tiny Epic games, or a bunch of other options. You can also freely download some games via the Steam Workshop, but that's a tad shady. Although it's a great way to play certain fan-made variants of certain games. There's also Tabletopia, which is substantially less shady, but not as user-friendly either. Maybe I'm just used to Tabletop Simulator's way of doing things. In either event, it's perfectly usable, but it's important to note that neither Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia has bot options for easy solo play. But if you're playing a game with a solo variant, you can certainly manage by yourself. Finally, it's a stretch, but try Dream Quest on Steam. Not exactly a board game, its central mechanic is that of a roguelike, and its art is absolute garbage. But combat is done via a deck-building mechanic that is simply brilliant, addicting, and fun. If all that's not enough for you, I've got a bunch more courtesy of a great post on Board Game Geek detailing every board game that can be played online. I'm going to put the post right in the information box. There are hundreds upon hundreds of board games here, some with multiple ways to play them. Just make sure you click the number of the game that you want instead of the name. The name brings you to that board game's homepage on BGG. And this leads to some great finds. Want to play Dominion with friends or against bots in your web browser? Sure thing. The bots are tough but beatable. This led me to Board Game Arena, which has a wonderful selection of some of my favorite board games ever, like Tokaido, Stone Age, Sulkin, Libertalia, Race and Roll for the Galaxy, Puerto Rico, Carcassonne, and loads of other games, most of which I've heard of. Unfortunately, only one game that I've found, Can't Stop, supports bots, and online players are unreliable at best. This site is in serious need of bots. Anyway, those are all the ways I've found to play board games on my PC. Granted, there's a bunch more games on Steam I don't have yet, like Carcassonne and Race for the Galaxy, but I can only show you what I own. Anyway, this is our first side video, so let me know in the comments, what did you think? Do you like this kind of thing? Would you like me to explore some of these PC games in greater detail, maybe do a full review? Let us know in the comments, and please remember to like and subscribe. That'll help us afford new games to review, eventually. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.